Awesome. All right. So we are here with Sammy. How are you? How's everything going?
Everything is good. It's a rainy day here in Dallas right now, so the thunderstorms are rolling through.
We're not Dallas, Texas. But so let's just get into it. What the people want to know, the first and foremost. So they want to know about that money. They want to know about that moolah. So kind of just break down in your time with me, how much did you generate in revenue for yourself?
Okay, so with working together for a month and a half, I was really able to make $9,000,
There we
which
go.
for
So
me was like goose egg before. There was nothing coming in before that. So that was a huge shift,
yeah.
obviously,
So
for
you
me.
went from making nothing. How long were you trying in your online coaching business and made nothing and doing like all those things? How long were you going after it?
So I kind of broke ground maybe about 2 years prior. Um, Intentionally putting myself out online was probably about a year before. So the
Okay.
first year, you kind of discover the space, figure out who you want to be, what game are you trying to
Yeah,
play out here, and then that next year, I figured it out. And then, but it was gaining that traction and gaining like the momentum. Okay, I have a product, but how do I get it in front of people?
definitely. So you were trying for a year, and over a year that was $0. And within that year, like, did you hire somebody to help you and kind of give us some experience about that? Because I know some people watching, they're probably had experiences with other coaches before and probably didn't go as well. And I think you can kind of shed light on that for these people. So yeah, so kind of bring us through that really quick.
Yeah, so I remember when we had our interview call, I told you, I was like, this is my experience before. So basically, I had hired a coach who was, she's an incredible human, but the program wasn't set up for where I was at the moment. And so I had committed to pay her a few $1,000s a month. And it was a situation where I just I wasn't even able to afford it after halfway through the program. It was very embarrassing. It was a really humbling moment, and I felt nervous about investing in a coach moving forward. I felt like I gave everything and it didn't work. So um, whenever I came to you, it was one of those things where I talked to you openly. I was like, "Hey, man, this is my situation. Um, I know I need something. I don't even know what to ask for." And you were like, "Don't worry, I got you. I've got a plan." And that's exactly what happened. And I made the money back.
Like that.
You're so fast. I was like, okay, this is perfect.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, because I know people, they have poor experiences with things in the past. They let that kind of dictate their future, and like that's the worst thing. The last thing I want for somebody is to let your past, dictate your future. You should only let your future dictate your future. You know what I'm saying? Your actual present decisions and what you actually want to do should be what you want to do. So I don't want people to get discouraged because they've tried something in the past and then they're like, oh, it didn't work, bad experience. Let me kind of give up. I wish it worked where the first thing you tried was like success, but that's not the name of the
No,
game.
it's still not. Yeah.
It's crazy, and it's just I just really want to shed light on that. Okay, so awesome. So we talked revenue, generated $9,000, and I think you had a big like 12 hours within my program where you. How much did you make in just like 12 hours selling your fitness programs? Like something that's never heard of for you before. How much did you hit?
Yeah, I was able to make $4,000 in 12 hours, and it was just kind of a funny that for me, like the experience was crazy, but when I heard the number to the time frame, I was like, this is possible. This is what I've heard other coaches talk about online. This is what I've heard other people. I'm doing it. And
Yeah,
it's just a little bitty taste that's like, I can do this. I
yeah,
can do this. And so that was where a lot of my confidence came from, was just knowing that I can. I felt like I had the product, but knowing that I had the method behind being able to do it was really empowering as well.
love that, love that, love that. Okay, so of course, revenue is important, but we want to know, like, what did you do with, like, what did you use that money for? How did that impact your life truly? Because I know some people are probably watching this and they may be in, some credit card debt. They may have student loans. They may be wanting to get their own place. They may be wanting to travel and have that freedom, that financial freedom with everything. But how did this program and me helping you, how did it impact your life truly?
Absolutely. So I do have student loans. Went to school forever, and started paying those back a little bit faster. From there, I ended up, I've traveled. I've been to Utah. I went to Utah for a week
That's what's up.
this past year or past month. I have a few trips booked out, which is really nice because I've learned to understand that, me being happy is a very important part of being a coach. So um, I have to pay for that. I have to make time for that. And that's been nice to be able to finally have that blend between work and play.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. And this may be a little personal, but I remember on our call, you were pretty down and out in terms of money. You're like, hey, like, I think you had to split up your initial payment into like 4 or 5 payments. You're like, I can get you this much, and then 2 days later, I can get you this much, and I can get you this much. Wait, I'm gonna get a new credit card. Let me get you this.
Yeah, it was like the most embarrassing, scary, like I gotta be real here because I wanted it,
Yeah,
But yeah, that was definitely that was
yeah.
definitely
And look at you now. And for me personally, like that's something I normally never do, like break it up that much and trying to like, because like I've had an experience before where people are like, yeah, I can just put down this and then I'll give you this and then they just
it's
disappear.
a risk. It's a risk as a coach to do that.
For sure. So like I believed in you and like I believe in all my clients. I was like, let me help her out, let me see what's going on. And then it ended up working out with that. So that's amazing with everything because the biggest thing that I think led to your successes was how resourceful you were because the people watching may be like, hey, like I don't have the money right now. I don't know where to get the money, but truly money, if you think about it, money is everywhere. And the lack of money is basically directly correlated to how resourceful you are. Like how willing are you to go out there, do what you did? You're like, I'm going to pick up extra, clients. I'm going to go get a new credit card. And that was what led to your success. And what's your take on just being resourceful in business and things that you learned with that?
A lot of it is realizing that you have to you have to understand that power of like, there's that example of someone would say, if you put a pile of money on this really dangerous bridge, would you go over and cross the bridge and get it? A lot of people would say, no, if it's that dangerous, I'll find money elsewhere. But if you put a child on the other side, your child, someone else's child who's about to get hurt on that other side, would you go and tackle it? And it's like identifying in your mind what it is that you want no matter what. And I can specifically say for me, I wanted the success. I wanted the community that was the group. I wanted the direction and the guidance, and I figured it out. I called so many banks. I applied for all these credit cards. I bent over backwards with my other clients that I was training in person, just to like make up that difference. And I decided that I was going to make it work. And it was a next level me that I wasn't even familiar with. But
Yeah,
that was all more the lesson of who I was designed to be. So even that process taught me something.
perfect. Just embracing the discomfort because I know it's very uncomfortable, but
So uncomfortable.
that's where all the change happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Totally.
where the growth really happens. So I want to let the people know that you're watching this. You may be uncomfortable. You may be in a situation where you feel like you're stuck, you're down and out, but there is a way and you just haven't thought about it or you're not being resourceful enough with everything. So we just want to give you that inspiration. But now let's hop into just, the program overall and kind of how I was with you as a coach and kind of how the difference of things that you kind of experienced in the past. And, how was that kind of relationship between me as a mentor to you and you, as a client, you being a part of the squad and everything. How was that overall for you?
Yeah, so there are two things that I always try to explain to people about you and your program is that your energy
Yeah.
was initially what attracted to me in your program, and just your whole Facebook profile was just that you have this high energy that I've learned is absolutely necessary in having a good time in business.
Yeah.
Like you gotta just have it. You have to have a good time, otherwise you can't win. If you're bored, you're stressed, it's just not gonna work for you. So calibrating to that energy and having that support was extremely sensational. The biggest game changer for me was the structure that you had designed within the program that led me and the other clients step by step by step, day by day, part of the day, like morning, noon, and night. What are we going to do in order to get to the end result? And the end result was pretty much guaranteed
Yeah.
if you followed all of the steps. And you said, don't skip a step, don't miss a step. And we were like, okay, let's not do that. And if you didn't miss a step and you went with the plan, it was a guarantee
Yeah.
win.
Pretty much. So, because I know some people, they're out there looking for that strategy. They're looking for that next best thing and using the puppy principle. I honestly can't think of, for somebody starting out, for somebody to get their foot rolling, get their feet wet, to get some instant massive success. Like, I would always bet money on the puppy principle, always like, if you do this, you follow the exact steps, you do what I tell you, I'm never going to lead you wrong, because, success leaves clues. If I literally used my success from developing my fitness coaching business, I said, here are the exact things that I did. You literally can't go wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I think with other programs out there, it's like they do it very vague. They're like, hey, post on Instagram over here, do this, or try this out. But I'm literally like, do this, do that in sequential order. Don't do this. Better not do this. You got to do this. Next day, got to do this. And I'm just always on you and checking in and like making sure, okay, did you do that? Did you do this? Because your success is dependent on how well you just follow the instructions, and how well you just follow the rules and the guidelines. And it's just like, if you want to win out here, like, just do what I say. And it's like, who would like, it's just as easy as that. So that's awesome that she's highlighted and touched on that.
Yeah. And I remember there was one moment where I was like, okay, I'm happy with the amount of people I've reached out to. And you were like, you need to push more than that. And I was like, but, and then I got super resourceful again after that. And I got way more return from that push. So that was another huge moment for me too.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm always pushing people in the program because that's the name of the game. I mean, it's definitely, obviously, a coaching program to help you with your business, help you make money. But the level of how I stretch you as a person, I don't think any kind of just like, quote unquote business coaching program is going to give that to you. I honestly feel like there's a life coaching component I should just be charging people for with everything. But yeah, no, that's that. So I know there was one fun and weird win, which is that I wanted to touch on, which is a little personal, but I really want to touch on this for the people. But we have fun over here in the squad. We're such a close-knit community to where we probably get too close at times. So, so tell us what happened with you in the program, and just you know what happened. Go ahead.
Okay, so you were posting, there are a few people that in their own lives that got engaged. Somebody, I think 3 people got engaged within working with you in that time frame, all that stuff. And I was like, oh, that's funny, that's cute. End of the program within the like 3 months ago. So program ended about that time. Me and one of the other members in the squad ended up meeting up, hanging out, and then we kept hanging out. And now he is my boyfriend. I found the most amazing guy. Just so good. Same energy, same caliber of people, like the people you draw in. It's just it's a good team.
Perfect. Yeah. So for you, if you're single, you're trying to get engaged, you're trying to get a little boyfriend out here, you're trying to get booed up, this is the program to be at. I'm just funny, but I just love having those extra wins in life because, like, the money is cool. I mean, I have to help you make money. That's the first and foremost. But I want to make sure everything else is good in your life. I want to make sure your love life is good. I want to make sure your daily life is good. I want to make sure your energy is right. So that's that. So let's wrap this up. I don't want to make this too long because I know people are watching this like, okay, Hakeem, yada, yada. Let's wrap this up. So if you could leave any final remarks on somebody who may be on the fence, they may be at a place right now where you probably were a few months ago where you're like, you don't know where the next thing is or what the actual next process is. And maybe they just need some light, some hope, some inspiration, because I can only do as much inspiring as I can do. I'm only one person, but I want them to hear from you, like, truly and authentically, what would you say to that person?
So if you are on the fence right now, what I would say to you is if you know that you feel like you're ready for a next step and you're looking for the next step, the step is right in front of you. This is it. This is going to help ignite you to the next level. And the opportunity to grow from there is exponential, but you have to be willing to invest first. It can't just come to you on its own. You have to be willing to invest. And a lot of people say that online, but it's the truest thing out there. So
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you for that. Because
yeah.
you pay attention. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People
Wow,
out
that
there,
word, I like that.
people out there probably try things for free, but how long do you stick to that? You probably have people, in your community or on your Instagram, you give out free information, free workouts. How many transformations does that give them? Little, you know what I'm saying? Zero, actually. So
Yep.
the way to actually really help somebody, the way to get to the next level is by investing, because if you pay attention. And I just want to make sure that's known for you. And if you don't have where you're like the money, you're like, oh, I'm down and out, I don't know what's going on. It is there. It's there.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, it's so there. People are ready for everybody's message. I mean,
Yeah.
they're ready. They just need help.
You got to stretch yourself. You got to get into that uncomfortability. You got to get to that point. The biggest growth that I have seen with any of my clients, with myself, has been in times where I was like, damn, like, I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm feeling lost. I'm really out of this. Clients are just like, the game, like, all my calls are canceling. People are saying no. Like, just dig deep. Go in there. The next day, just got all these calls. Just made $10,000. Yada, yada.
Every time. Every single time. Every time. Crazy.
Perfect. So thank you, Samantha. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the squad. You're an amazing member. I love having you. And as you know, with everything that we do in the squad, every post I make, every time, I address y'all, I say the squad. So I want to hear your best squad,
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me.
On three, okay? So whenever you're ready, on three. 1, 2, 3.
Squad. I think I have a sore throat now.
Oh man, yeah. Everyone's like, Hakeem, I don't know how you do it like that.
I don't know how you do it like that. I really don't.
Yeah.
I really don't.
But all right. So thank you for being here. For you watching, if you're watching this video, there's probably a link somewhere around. You can click the link. It's to have a call with me. We're having an application call coming up, whatever it may be. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for Samantha for being here. Thank you
Absolutely.
for the viewers in terms of watching this. I hope you become a part of the squad. And if you don't, then no worries too. But I just want to give you some true and some real life, examples of clients that I've had. And to recap, Samantha here came on with me in a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? She generated over 9,000, and actually 12 hours she made 4,000. She's now paying off student loans at a much faster rate. She's traveling more. She's living her life. She feels much better. You know what I'm saying? She got a relationship. Like, come on. It's crazy. People pay a lot of money for a relationship. I should probably charge you for that one. But but yeah, it's just it's up to you truly. It's how willing you are to be resourceful, how willing you are to be stretched out of your comfort zone, and how willing you are to not let your past dictate your future. You know what I'm saying? Let your future dictate your future. You know what I'm saying? The best way to do that is by being your best present self. And I always tell people that. So, I'm preaching out here. I'm preaching. So that is that. Have a good one. And I'm going to sign off. Take care.
All right. Bye.